Hi, you guys, it's Mrs. Leus. It's Friday, September 4th. Today's math lesson is a little bit of lesson 8 and a little bit of lesson 9 because we're at the end of chapter 1. Please keep in mind that we will have a chapter test some point next week, but we're going to do a lot of review before we take the test, so I don't want you to worry. So let's go ahead and open our books, and we are again in lesson 8 and lesson 9 for today. All right, so in lesson 8, I want you to turn to page 57. So please turn out to page 57, and we're just going to do a couple on both of these pages. So up here, we are ordering numbers from least to greatest. So remember, in order to compare numbers, we have to make sure that we're comparing digits that are sitting in the same place value spot. So look at these numbers. They're in the form of money, right? These are costs. These are dollar signs. We have $98.75, $114.99, and $105.99. We're going least to greatest. So the smallest amount would be the $98.75. The next amount would be $105.99. And then the biggest amount is the $114.99. And don't forget your dollar signs. And there we have it, in order from least to greatest. You guys can go ahead and do the temperature one. I will go ahead and do the distance in light years. So we have 4 and 2 tenths, 6 and 0 tenths, 4 and 3 tenths, and 7 and 7 tenths. So I have a 4, a 6, a 4, and a 7 all in the ones place. Well, the 7 is the highest, so I know that's going to be my biggest one. My 6 is the next biggest, so I know that will be going right here. And then I have a 4.2 and a 4.3. 2 is smaller than 3, so 4.2 will go first, and then 4.3 will go next. Okay, and then I want you guys to do number 8. I will do number 9. Here are kilometers ran. 4.9, 3.7, 3.4, 4.2. So look at the ones place. I have a 4, a 3, a 3, and a 4. Well, I have a 4.9 or a 4.2. 4.9 is the biggest, so I know that's going to go all the way down here. And then it'll go 4.2 before that because it has a 4 also in the ones place. Then I have a 3.7 and a 3.4. The 3 and 3 are equal, but then I have a 7 and a 4 in the tenths place. So I'm comparing a 7 in the tenths place to a 4 in the tenths place. The 7 in the tenths place is bigger, so that will go right here. And then that means my smallest number is my 3 and 4 tenths. Okay, so I want you guys to do 6 and 8 on that page. Let's go down here, and we have now ordering them from greatest to least. I want you guys to do these on your own as well, because it's basically the same thing, but just doing the opposite. How about you guys do numbers 10 and 12, and that would be enough for me. All right, now that you have done this page, you're going to go on and you're going to go to lesson 9. Now we're going to do some problem solving strategies. So I want you to turn to page 63. I'm going to do number 1 for you, and then I want you guys to do number 2, number 4, and number 5. And that's all you're doing for today. Don't worry if you don't finish. We can always come back to it at a later time. All right, so I'm going to do number 1 and number 3. Let's start with number 1. The table, which is right here, shows the number of ounces of butter Marty used in different recipes. She has 6 ounces of butter left. How many ounces of butter did she have at the beginning? So I want you to always draw a picture when we're doing word problems. It really helps to paint a picture of what we're doing. So let's say I have a big thing of butter. Before I made all these recipes, I have a full container of butter, and I'm trying to figure out how much I started with. I know that after I cooked, I was left with only 6 ounces. As it says here, I have 6 ounces left after baking and using all of these. So if I end with 6, and I used 6 for pasta, 8 for cookies, and 4 for pie, let's go ahead and add those up. 6 plus 8 plus 4. Well, 6 plus 4 gives me 10, and 10 plus 8 gives me 18. So it cost me 8 ounces of butter, 18 ounces of butter to cook all of these things. I still had 6 after I made all of that. So let's combine what I had left and what I used, and that will tell me how much I had at the beginning. So we're going to go ahead and combine the 18 used plus the 6 that I have left over. 8 plus 6 is 14, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So I started out with 24 ounces of butter. So go ahead and copy that down. I want you guys to do number 2. I'm going to do number 3. You divide a number by 3, add 6, then subtract 7. The result is 4. What is the number? Ooh, very tricky. Okay, so if I divide a number by 3, add it to 6, then subtract 7, I get 4. Well, let's move backwards and do all the opposite operations, and I should come out with the right answer. So if I start with 4, instead of subtracting 7, let's add 7. And that gives me 11. Instead of adding 6, let's subtract 6. That gives me 5. And instead of dividing by 3, let's multiply by 3. That gives me 15. Let's see if I did it right. Now I'm going to say that my number is 15, and let's go through the steps and see if it gives me 4. So 15 divided by 3. 15 divided by 3 gives me 5. Then it says add 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. Then subtract 7. 11 minus 7 is 4. Is the result 4? Yep, we did it right. So what is the number? The number was 15. So whenever you have a problem like this, just get the number that you end with and just work yourself backwards by doing the opposite operations. I want you guys to also try 4 and 5, but please make sure you stop when it's time to go to math stations. Okay, you guys, I will talk to you later. If you need help, join me at virtual office hours today.